Good morning to all of you. Myself, Miss Anjali from Aryant English Medium School, Solapur. Today, I'll be teaching you poem number 1 from Unit 1 of 6th Standard. So, the title of the poem is What a Bird Thought. In this poem, a bird is talking to us and telling us all about its journey from the time it was in an eggshell to the time when it grew very big and is able to soar high up in the sky. And each time it thought that the whole world is made of the house that it lived in. So, now let's read the first stanza of the poem. I lived first in a little house and lived there very well. The world to me was small and round and made of pale blue shell. Here, the bird is describing its house. It's describing the house as little, means it lived first in a little house and it lived very well. Though the house was little, it was small and tiny, but it lived very well and it was very happy. So here, the world to me was small and round. How was the world to the bird? It was small and round. When it was living in that house, it thought that the whole world is small and round and made of pale blue shell. Pale means light in color and shell means a hard protective cover. Here, pale blue shell is the eggshell. Pale blue shell is the eggshell where it lives. Can you see the eggshell in the picture? This is the eggshell. It lived first in an eggshell. So it thought that the whole world is small and round. Let's move to the next stanza of the poem. I lived next in a little nest, nor needed any other. I thought the world was made of straw and covered by my mother. Now, after bird came out of the pale blue shell, it lived in a little nest. Means here again bird is describing its nest as a little nest. That is, it was a small nest. He was very happy in the nest and it didn't needed any other. So here it tells us that I lived next in a little nest nor needed any other. And as the nest was made of straw, so it thought that the whole world is made of straw. And also, you all know, when there is a small bird, when a bird gives a birth to the small one, a mother bird sits on its little young ones. Why it sits on the little young ones? To protect it, to protect the small baby. So now it thought that the whole world is covered with the straws and the body of the mother. The whole body was covered by the mother. So it felt very safe there and it was very happy living in a little nest. Now you can see the second picture. It came out of the pale blue shell and it thought that the whole world is made of straw. Let's read the third stanza. One day I fluttered from the nest to see what I could find. I said the world was made of leaves. I have been very blind. Now, one day I fluttered. Fluttered means to fly unsteadily or to flap the wings quickly. To flap the wings quickly. One day, the bird tried to fly to come out of the nest. But why do you think that it want to come out of the nest? Yes, to see what it could find. Means what he can find out of the nest. What all things he can find. So he wants to explore now. He wanted to know what is beyond the nest. What is beyond the nest? What all things he can see and what all things he can find. So one day he fluttered from the nest to see what he can find. Now he said, the bird says that the whole world is made of leaves. I have been very blind. Now he thinks the world is made of leaves. He said because the nest is in the tree. As he came out of the nest, he saw leaves all around. So it thought the whole world is made of leaves, and it tells us that it has been very blind because earlier it thought that the whole world is made of eggshell. Then when it hatched out of eggshell, it thought that whole world is made of straw. But now, as it came out of the nest, it realized and he thought that whole world is made of leaves. He did not see properly everything. Now you can see the third picture, that when it came out of the nest, everywhere there was a greenery. There was green leaves. So it thought that now whole world is made of green leaves, and it thinks that I was very blind earlier. Let's move to the fourth and the last stanza of the poem. At last, I flew beyond the tree and saw the sky so blue. Now, how the world is really made, I cannot tell. Can you? Now, one day, the bird grow bigger. At last the bird grow bigger, and it was able to fly out of the tree also. It flew up in the sky. So for the first time, it saw the sky so blue. Everywhere there was a sky. Everywhere there was a blue sky. And it was very nice to see. Then the bird is telling us that I cannot tell now how the world is really made. Now, first I thought that the whole world is made of pale blue shell. After that, when it hatched out of that, it thought the world is made of straw and my mother. And after, when it flew beyond the nest, it thought that the whole world is made of green leaves. But now when it grew bigger, it thought that the whole sky is so blue and it is so nice to see. And now the bird is confused. Why? Because it is confused that how really the world is made. It is confused and it is asking us the question that I cannot tell now how the world is really made. Now it's asking us the question, can you tell me what really the world is made? So this is the poem where a bird thought different things. Thank you for listening, all of you.